Welcome to another episode of the Dragon Age Inquisition series, and last time we added a couple people to our crew. We added Iron Bull, Blackwall, and Sarah. So I figured we would start out by talking... Do you mind? I figured we'd start out by talking to those guys, but it also looks like somebody's moved over here who wasn't there before. Because here's Cassandra, but there's another person on the map. I'll just take this loot from right under your feet, thank you. And... oh, it's Cullen. Cullen's moved. So we'll probably just go around talking to people, at least for the start of this episode, if not the entirety, because time is a thing I can't keep track of in this game. So, first off, let's talk to the very cool Grim.
Can I help you with anything?
Let's discuss Iron Bull. How can we use you? And tell me about the Chargers.
Can we talk about the Bull's Chargers?
Best company you'll find from here to the Anderfells. In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to magic trees. We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
What are your abilities? Tell me an interesting job and follow the rules.
Do the Chargers specialize in anything from a tactical standpoint?
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the flanks. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. They mostly hold back. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the Chief goes wherever he can hit something.
He's a very simple creature.
You said something about everything from bandits to magic trees. I'll admit to some curiosity.
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Apparently spirits can possess trees, too. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles, had a haunted forest. His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The Chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
It was the squirrels. Sounds like Krem has seen some things. I'm not gonna ask that.
We'll talk later.
They would.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
So he's watching them over there.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Qunari learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
Yeah, I'd say he is.
I'm impressed by what Cullen has accomplished with the troops.
Damn right. It takes time to build a group into a team, but he's got their loyalty. Now he just needs them to make a decent shield wall, and they'll be good to go. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Let's see, do we think Liliana, Cassandra, Cullen? I don't think any of them are, like, more powerful than the other, so...
The Inquisition has done all right so far without an Inquisitor.
That's because all we've needed so far is damage control, reaction. A group can handle that. Once you've sealed the breach, it's gonna be time to make decisions. Someone's gonna have to step up. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
No.
It could happen. It won't. But it could.
Bull. He's very
What can I
straightforward.
do for you?
I'd like to know more about the Qunari.
You writing a book?
Oh, we can already flirt. They're a potential threat. They sound interesting. Let's go.
It's your culture, and I'd like to know you better.
You could just ask.
I am.
All right. What do you want to know?
What do you think I'm doing? Oh wow.
How is everyday life different for Qunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Valroyo gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Qun. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
Like, I feel like we should explore further, but I wouldn't ever want to say that.
How do the Qunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Qunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Qunari safe from outside threats.
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Olay, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Qunari, the Ben Hasrath set you straight. Or kill you.
Would do it, I suppose.
The word Qunari, is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Qun are the Vidathari. The Qunari who break away from the Qun are Talvashar, deserters.
What about Qunari who existed before the Qun?
The people we came from. They're called the Karsith, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Karsith were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. Whatever they are.
I feel like we actually learn more about that later, but I'm not 100% sure.
See you later, Bull.
See ya.
I had one more thing I
What
wanted
can I
to
do
ask.
for you?
What is his name like that?
So, how did you get the name Iron Bull?
I picked it. We don't have names under the Qun. Just, I don't know. Job descriptions, I guess. When I came to Orlais, I chose the Iron Bull for myself.
But why specifically Iron Bull?
This may surprise you, but I really like hitting things. Also, it's the Iron Bull, technically. I like having an article at the front. It makes it sound like I'm not even a person, just a mindless weapon. An implement of destruction. That really works for me.
It's like, I like
See you later,
that.
Bull.
See ya.
Thanks, Bull. The Bull? The Iron Bull?
Travel safely.
Will do. Freaking nugs. Creepy creatures. Let's see, here's a good old black wall. I'm stuck on a box. Black wall, so if you'll just hold a moment and don't judge me too hard, I'll be right around.
Please. Make her look at it. So much easier to ignore when it's far away.
I'm it.
And to actually walk out of it. To be that close.
You could get closer. You could go over there. Don't recommend it.
If I hadn't been saved by the Inquisition soldiers, I don't know what would have happened.
Inquisition soldiers? That's not what I've heard. I have to admit, I thought you'd be...
Human?
Yes.
At least you're honest. Is that a problem? I don't blame you.
That's not surprising. Humans are everywhere. It's expected.
It was a foolish thought. Should have known better than to say anything. It's what you do and how you do it that's important. Just one question then. How do you think you fit in with all this?
I want peace, I'm not sure, or some worship me, I like that. God, no, I'd be horrified. Please, I'm just a person, leave me alone. Alright, I want peace.
I just want to help stop the war. Try to put things back in order.
A worthy goal, one I'm happy to support. For me, I'll be satisfied so long as we find the bastards that killed the Divine. They owe us some answers.
There. He approved. Why is there a quest? Okay, oh lord. Now you can't judge me, because I could have gone past that box. Where are you going? Talk to me.
I've heard rumors of abandoned warden camps all over these parts. If we have time, I'd like to take a look. See if there's anything we can salvage.
You're strangely charming. Is that really, flirting? You're kind of weird, but I like it. Might as well, though.
You're oddly charming for a man I found wandering the forest.
I always thought myself more odd than charming. But I'll take a compliment from a lady. They're hard to come by these days.
I like your modesty. What's hard to come by? There's more in my quarters. Wow. She's forward, isn't she? Freaky nugs. At least you sound cuter than you look. I'm having a dilemma. I don't know what to choose on this very not important conversation.
You can have more if you like. I store them in my private quarters.
Well, well... I was not expecting that. Thanks for the tempting offer, my lady. I'll have to consider it carefully.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Okay,
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
no, you say that, but...
Your name, Blackwall, doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher then. Ferelden.
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
I hear that many wardens were once criminals.
You're right. And when you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
Why did you join the wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect. We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe I could be one of them.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
Very well.
Master Harrick said that without more ore, he won't be able to get blades for the recruits.
Tell Master Harrick that ore doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, Mom. I think he knows, Mom. He talked about how we have to dig it up.
Lord, you deal with a lot there, Thrun. I'm sorry. Hey, Sarah. Ooh, cutscene.
So, this is it, huh? Oh no, it's fine, yeah? It's just, I thought it'd be bigger. That would have been hilarious if you were a man, right? Wasted. Anyway, stopping wars should earn more sovereigns than this. Need things back to normal for coins to be flowing again. Another reason the Templars and mages need to be sat down.
Alright, so which side are you on? The Conclave tried and failed. There's more going on.
It's not just a war between those two.
Well, sure, the sky has a hole in it. But I can't put an arrow in that. Well, I have. Doesn't come down. That's weird. And that's the point, right? It's weird and right there, but they still want to punch each other. They're too busy to look up where the real questions are.
Even though she's very hard to understand until you get used to her, she has some pretty good points. A lot of bad ones, but she has some good ones.
That's why we're here. To help guide everyone back from the brink.
The religious ones tell you that. That's important, right? But don't make it all about that. Seems like believing too hard is what got everyone here. And here is stupid and smells of horse. Really, what everyone needs is to get everything back to normal and proper and profitable. Sound good to you, old-touched Lady Herald?
Poor Sarah, she's just like... It's hard for her to accept the change. She's like, if we could just reverse time, everything would be okay. You staying sounds very good. We'll succeed, we have to. Sounds good to me. Well, we're choosing all of the flirts so far. Might as well continue.
I think I'll enjoy having you around, Sarah. I hope you'll feel the same.
Kinda. Suppose. Maybe. See you, Herald. Herald. I have to do something about that.
Oh, by the way, I did... So, after I quit last time, I finished looting that area that we left off in. And I found... Not a recipe. These, which I find very amusing. Too many britches. So, you can actually find all of their pants. She shoved them in a barrel.
Chasing the Lord Seeker, I hear. Anyone who thinks they need Lord in front of the name, that's bad. Bet he's got a portrait taller than he is. That's your first clue to a total arse. Fact.
Can you imagine having a painting of yourself? That'd be very weird. Oh, we can kick her. Okay, tell me about your background, tell me about your friends, carry on. Let's hear her opinions, yeah?
What do you think about the people who have gathered?
Which? The ones who do things or the ones who give orders?
What about Solus?
Solus? His head's crammed up 1,000 years ago.
Fair.
Anything to say about Varrick?
Varrick? Too clever. Always saying something, but never saying it straight.
Thoughts about Cassandra?
Not as buttoned up as she plays, right? Tough, though. I'd stand behind her in front of anything.
What do you think about our spymaster, ambassador, and commander?
Liliana is pretty in places. Swear I've seen her, too. Or heard she used to play. But that'd be mad. Now, Josephine, she's as good at humbling her kind as I am. Just with less mess. Knows her business, if you have to have it. And Cullen, I suppose if you want a jackboot, you get a big one so you can grow into it. Nice hair, though.
It's fun hearing Sarah because she has such weird perspectives on people.
Thoughts on Iron Bull?
It makes me wonder about things. I mean, what do their women look like? Woof.
She's, into ladies.
Any thoughts about Warden Blackwall?
He's too good, right? Like to see him out of that uniform. Not like that.
Again, she only likes ladies.
We'll talk later.
Good, right? I'll be here.
It's crazy. If you know the rest of the story, she's very insightful. She knows a lot about those people.
Here, sir. With Cedric's compliments, sir.
What's the catch this time?
No catch, sir. Said he wanted to help the Inquisition. Plus, I think the herbs were going to go off and nobody wanted to buy them. Think Cedric wanted people to like him.
Well, good enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him either.
As I explored the Fade, I felt the presence of an intriguing artifact in the hinterlands. If you are willing, I would like to locate it. I have marked its location as best I could determine.
Okay, we'll go find it.
I'd like to know more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
The Fade sounds so interesting. It's a lot scarier and creepier than he paints it to be, as his character is. Is that why you're here? I hope that works. Weird, but good for you. That's unnatural.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
True. Can't sleep anywhere if there's no world.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train to flick a dagger or an arrow to its target. The grace with which you move is a pleasing side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
There's a lot of flirts at the beginning of the game that I did not remember about.
So you're suggesting I'm graceful?
No. I am declaring it. It was not a subject for debate.
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, and you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Caelan's forces.
I'm pretty sure the hero of Ferelden is actually a character you can play in one of the first games. Not 100%, but I think it is.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Caelan fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real.
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with Pride and Desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
Which leads to a very sad quest later on.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varrick by his chest hair and not his wit?
I'm not arguing this. Which is, I think, one of those answers that's completely opposite to what I think it is, because obviously they don't put what you say. And when I choose this one, I usually think I'm like, oh, no, I agree with you. I'm not arguing against this. But instead, it's very aggressive. Like, you're not worth my time on arguing. Spirits lack free will. You need a body to be real. Yes, spirits are people.
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solus.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either.
She's smooth.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Certainly is. More smooth than I would ever be. That'd be a mess. Flirting, not my forte.
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
Been doing that to my best ability. Again, I apologize that I tend to, if I can, position the camera behind the person we're talking to, but it makes it so that we can hear them better.
Why do you want me to seek out the rebel mages? Why do you care?
I've known mages. Some of them were better people than me.
There's quite a
and
few
yet
of those.
I'm free and they're not. It's not right.
Fair.
I'll leave you to your work.
Man, I'm lucky you guys can't see me because I would give away so much. I react to... Would you all be quiet? Please, I am talking. Alright, now that everyone has stopped talking to me, or just in general, I'd give so many plot points away because I hear people say things and they hint, and it's so clever because knowing the end, you can see it so early. And so when they say something I disagree with or something, you can see it, so I'm glad you can't see it or I'd be giving away this whole game.
Greetings.
Anything to report?
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
How are our guests? What about our allies?
Any thoughts on the people here?
Who did you mean?
Ooh, we can have them talk to us. Okay, Yay, I love getting everyone's opinions.
What do you think of Sir Blackwall?
Sir Blackwall seems as loyal to the purpose of the Inquisition as he is to the Wardens. His travels must have taken him strange places. I wish he'd speak more about them.
The Iron Bull has had to have made an impression.
He is a loud, unapologetic accident merely waiting to happen. I do wish he'd stop daring poor dignitaries to outdrink him.
That might be a little inconvenient when everyone's drunk.
I was thinking of Cassandra.
Seeker Pentagast is a princess of the Kingdom of Nevarra, although that barely seems important to her. She was not interested when I asked if we might make use of her royal relations. Still, the Inquisition would not have formed without Cassandra. She's an extraordinarily driven woman.
Commander Cullen came to mind.
The commander is an intelligent, cautious man. I'm grateful he's in charge of our standing army. Still, he does sometimes resemble the man with a hammer to whom everything appears as a nail.
The thing about Josephine is that when she wants to say something negative about someone, it is going to be so low-key and just so subtle, but very to the point.
What's your impression of Solus?
I suppose I should be wary of an apostate, but our elven mage has conducted himself with the utmost propriety. And he has the most fascinating stories.
True.
I'd love to know how you and Sarah get along.
I know she extracts gossip from the servants, and she keeps prying into things. Sarah's ability to vanish whenever her mischief's discovered must come in handy, however, I'm sure.
It's her, like, consoling herself. She's a pain in the ass, but I'm sure it's useful somehow.
I was thinking of Varrick.
Oh, I could listen to his tales for hours. He actually let me read a chapter of his next book he's writing. My friends would be sick with envy if they knew. It's excellent, but a bit different from his past works. Only 3 beheadings so far.
I don't know if that's an improvement or not, but yay for getting to read ahead of time.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Speaking of Varrick, let's see if he has anything interesting to say.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varrick?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
He tends to be.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Are you from Ferelden? Orlais?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
He's got the work cut out for him, doesn't he?
You're an author. What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. I got her off a guy in Darktown. Took me a week to pry his dead fingers off the stock.
God, gross.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is?
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
For now.
Thanks, Varrick.
You're gonna be with
No
us a lot
problem.
longer than you think.
Yes?
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Yay, more flirts. I don't know how many of these I can handle in an episode, but here we go.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lady.
So we know she's royalty because we just heard that.
So you are the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do, exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
It's a very interesting perspective.
I'll let you get back to work.
God, this game can be so picturesque. We've got quests really piling up here. Let's turn that off because it's annoying and big. So these are some of the quests we have for our individual, or for our companions. As you can see, this one is for someone we haven't met yet, so we'll probably get her soonish. That's in a place we haven't gone to. Those are the shards. And then look at this for the hinterlands. Still have so many quests there. And then there's even some already piling up on the Storm Coast. We've barely even started. There is a lot to this game, and I'm still trying to figure out the balance on how to tackle it all, how much I should do off of it, because I would consider where we're at to almost be the tutorial. Like, there is like a whole bunch of game after just this area. So as you can see, there's going to be a lot of, and there's a potential for a lot of episodes, so I'm still trying to figure out the balance of all of that, but I do think it's important to get to know our characters and all of that, and then maybe cut out some of the fights, mostly because I'm a boring archer. It's not like exactly the most engaging fight to watch. Maybe the bigger fights, that'll be more fun to watch, but I know that watching this a whole bunch can only be entertaining so long. So I think getting to know these characters and everything will be really important for the rest of the series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.